2 years ago on this very day, I officially started my web design business. 6 months ago, I decided it was time for a refresh. I'm talking everything. Logo, website, content, graphics, everything. Let's see how it turned out. Okay, let's really quickly talk about goals. I had 3 goals in mind. Number 1, I wanted to speak to my customer a little bit better. This is talking about the content, mostly on the website. I didn't really think it hit the benefits that the customers are trying to get, the pain points they have. I really wanted the content to be better. Number 2, as my portfolio gets bigger and I receive more testimonials, I want a place to showcase these things on the website. Number 3 is a little bit general, but I want things to look better. I was not happy with how things looked. It wasn't organized, it wasn't clean, so I want it to look better. So this was the website that I was working with. I did not like this website because I felt it was a little bit too aggressive, and also it didn't feel like me. When I went onto this website, it did not feel like home. We look at this image, it's a nice image of a panther, but it's like staring at you with the red eyes. It looks like it wants to eat you. It didn't look very inviting and welcoming. I like the boldness of it, but I don't like the over aggressiveness of it. Honestly, the copywriting wasn't terrible on the website, but I still didn't think it really spoke directly to my target customer and the pain points that they had. Again, you know, very professional picture of a panther, but it looks aggressive. And I didn't really want to give that feeling. There weren't very many pictures of myself. There's this one on the right side and then one way down here at the bottom, but this doesn't even look that good. In fact, it looks terrible. Those were a few things that I wanted to fix about the website. Now, this was the logo that I had. On the first day of my business, I created this silhouette of a panther, and for some reason I decided to keep it for 2 years. Basically, I don't really like anything about this logo. I don't like the silhouette of the panther honestly isn't terrible, but I don't love it. I don't like the typeface or the font that's being used. I think it's called Great Fighter or Great Fighter, I think it's called. That's the font that was used. I paid like 20 bucks for it. I don't like it. And the red also just looks a little bit faded and kind of dull, and I want to brighten that up a little bit. So basically everything here is just gonna go. We're not gonna keep anything. And then video graphics. So this is what I was working with video graphics. Your expertise. Let's dig in and see if we can find the right one for you. Honestly, it's not a bad intro sequence. I still actually kind of like it. I like the music. However, I wanted to go away from the retro, super bright neon colors. It's not bad. Again, I just want to kind of go in a different direction and make it look a little bit more crisp, clean, and professional. Okay, so that's basically what we were working with. I started on the logos next, and the logos I went through a ton of iterations. So I am not a logo designer. I don't offer that as a service. However, I'm the type of person that if I'm not the one doing the designing, or if I'm not at least taking a big part of it, I'm probably not gonna like it and I'm gonna switch it later on down the road. So I decided to try my hand at creating the logo. What I've got here is a couple iterations of what I was going through when I was actually designing the logo. And as you can see, the first few sketches were very, very rough and very, very bad. Now, one thing I did not want out of my logo was just this to be just another panther face, like the Carolina Panthers. It's not a bad logo, but I just didn't want that because it looks like a high school mascot, and I did not want this to look like just another high school mascot. I also did not want this to just be another full body shot of a panther like we see right here. Again, it's not a bad logo, but it's so similar to other companies that I didn't want to. I wanted this to be unique and one of a kind, so I'm gonna stay away from the face and hopefully the full body shot. So a few words that I had written down for what I was looking for in a logo. I wanted it to be premium, competitive, sleek, unique, and one of a kind. And I went through a lot of iterations. These were just a few of them, and actually I'm not a good drawer. In fact, I'm a terrible drawer, so I had to have my sister and my brother help me out a little bit later on in the process because I wasn't really getting where I wanted to be at with the logo, and I wasn't getting the look and feel I was going for. So I found one that I kind of liked, and I drew it up really large on paper, and then I brought it into Adobe Illustrator. So this is what it looks like in Adobe Illustrator, and it looks terrible in a computer compared to the drawing itself. The shadows do not have that like texture that they had on paper, and I didn't want it to be overly complicated in Illustrator, so I wanted it to be flat shadows, but it did not give off the look that I was going for. Here are just some more iterations of it. I even tried to go with the pixelated look a little bit. And after all these, I decided, you know what, it's time to start from scratch, start over, and go back to the drawing board. And I asked the question, what about a panther is unique about only a panther that you can't say about other animals? I originally thought it was the face, but then I realized like it looks very similar to a dog or a cat. I then thought it was maybe the tail, and I don't know, the tail kind of looks similar to other animals too. If you think of like a giraffe, like its neck is unique only to the giraffe. An elephant, it's the trunk. An alligator, it's kind of just the way it crawls on the floor. For a panther, I kind of came to the realization that it's actually the torso. Not a lot of animals have a torso like the panther has. So I really decided to zone in on the torso. And I started to get some iterations that I liked more and more, and then I brought it into the computer. So here's some Illustrator files. I was getting close. I really liked the front half, and I liked the torso, but I did not like the back half. I was going for like a pixelated look. Didn't turn out very well, so I decided to get rid of that. For this iteration, I added in a horizon, and it kind of looked too much like a polar bear. The body did, so I had to fix the back half again. I like the front half, and I basically kept the front half how it was for the rest of the iterations. This one again, it's getting better, but it looked a little bit too much like a polar bear with like that rounded back. So I had to sharpen it up a little bit, and this was really close to the final iteration. There's one more after this. I really liked this. The two things I didn't like were the feet. They look really weird and awkward, and the back was a little bit too flat. It didn't have enough shape in the back. So I decided to actually get rid of the feet altogether, and I decided to add a little bit more curvature to the back to give it that hump that the panthers actually have. So this is what I ended up going with, and this was the final iteration. It's got no feet, which I like because it's super simple, and it's got that hump, and it looks like a panther, and it's got the long torso. And I think it looks sleek, it looks competitive, it's unique, one of a kind. Not a lot of other logos have this, so I really liked how it turned out. So now that we had a logo, I decided to go into Adobe XD and just create like a mood board. This is not a finished stylescape, it's just a mood board. Some things just to remind myself, like, okay, keep in mind that these are gonna have to be on the website. And I basically just curated a bunch of assets that I liked. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in, so I just found a bunch of stuff that I liked. I like the texture of these maps here. I like the kind of sci-fi-ish style here. I like the realistic sci-fi style right here of this boat, the ship in the ocean. Again, more 3D stuff over here. These look phenomenal, and I don't know if I wanted to go this far, and I didn't know how a car would fit into my brand. But basically I was just throwing things that I liked in here. Again, a lot more 3D stuff, 3D shop here, 3D assets or icons. I don't like the plasticky look of them, but I do like the shape of them, and the detail that they have, and I really liked this basketball. So these were things that I just kind of wanted to keep in mind and kind of style the website around, and other graphics. And this was, again, just kind of putting together my thoughts and seeing how the website would look. This was kind of the clean and minimal corner, which I decided not to go with. It looked too clean and minimal, and too bright. I didn't want it to be plain white, so I decided to go with kind of a darker tone, specifically on the website. I added this gold color because I thought I wanted to add a gold color to be more premium, and I'll talk more about that when we get into the actual website design. I liked the picture though, and like the signature to show that this is my website, and that if you hire me, you're gonna be, you know, dealing with me, and I kind of wanted my name and picture to be all over the site. I wanted it to be conversion friendly, so I'm actually a big fan of these conversion blocks with lots of content. I know a lot of designers aren't, but I think that they're great for conversion. So this was kind of how I had planned my conversion blocks to look like, and actually my finished website actually looks very similar to this. Here I liked this wireframe and border look, and I actually used inspiration from this for one of the, actually a couple parts of the web design, which you'll see here in just a second. So I like that border wireframey look, and basically these were a few words that I wanted to base the website off of: sleek, conversion, SEO friendly, clean, scrappy, innovative, and fast loading. And I was willing to give up a little bit of page speed in order to fulfill some of these other desires that I had, but page speed's still important. And then this was kind of just playing around with, okay, how are my features, benefits, problems, questions, roadblocks, results, how are those going to look side by side with an image on the website? And this is actually very similar to how it looks on the current website, minus this font. I didn't use this font, but yeah, okay. And then we have colors down here, and some of these colors were used, some of them weren't. So there were lots of different iterations of the home page. I'm not going to go through them all. I'll just go through. This was the very first iteration of the website, and I'll just kind of go through it and tell you how it changed to the finished product. So basically, again, this one has the gold color, and I mentioned that for a second briefly before, and I actually got rid of the gold color. I did not want the color to be the one to tell you that my services are high quality. I wanted you to see it from the work itself. So I decided to drop the gold color. Again, I wanted to use some 3D graphics, so this was an example of a 3D graphic that might be used on the site. I wanted the red color to be very bold and very visible, and it only to be used on the call to actions for the most part. So I made sure that was very contrasting to the background. We've got some proof here, some trust icons, again, some more proof here, reasons why customers would want to trust me. These are my clients that I've worked with. Here is the conversion block that I had kind of mentioned. I really like these conversion blocks. They're very content centered, but not so heavy that it's difficult to read. It's broken up really nicely. It's got a nice headline and good visual hierarchy, and then like a video underneath it if people want to watch and learn more. This section I actually just got rid of completely because I didn't like it. I didn't think it looked very good, and I did a variation of it actually, so I didn't get rid of it completely. We'll stop right here, and we'll just go over to the finished product, and I'll kind of just talk you through how it all came together. So this is really close to how the finished product turned out. This is the home page, and let's just kind of talk through it. I'll go through it as quick as I can here. I don't want to talk about everything, but so the Panther is not on the finished website, but most everything else is. We've got nice visual hierarchy. We have a heading here. We have a call to action. The red really pops out on the screen. And then we've got our phone icon, which is going to be switched over to a 3D graphic, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I think there's really nice visual hierarchy. There's reasons why people should trust me with these icons. Again, more reasons why people should trust me with the client logos down here. These are actual clients that I have or have worked with in the past. Let's talk about colors really briefly. We decided to go with, again, the dark navy blue, the bright red to kind of contrast it a little bit. We have this light red, which is a very soft tone, and you can actually see it on the video here, the border of my two video graphics on the screen right now. That's the light red that I decided to go with, very close to a pink color, but I think it works really nicely together with basically every other color on the website. And then we have this gray color, which I think looks really great against this white and the dark navy blue. I think they all just play together really nicely. Now I needed one more color, and the reason why I wanted one more color was because I wanted a little bit brighter color, and I didn't want to use this red everywhere. I wanted to keep using the red only for calls to action. So what I decided to do is I decided to find this bright blue color, and it took me a while to find the one that I liked, the shade that I liked, but I really like how it pops out, but it doesn't look out of place. Because it is a very different color compared to the other colors, but I think it fits in really well, especially with this dark navy blue again. I think this kind of sets the tone for the rest of the website, and everything else plays really nicely together with it. So we've got this conversion block down here, which I think turned out great, and I really love it. Something that users can read right away just to show you what I'm about and kind of my philosophy on websites. I've got a video down here. The video is still being done, so I've just got a kind of a filler video in for now. This one you'll have to use your imagination because there's an interaction on the finished website over here. And basically these are just 3 benefits customers can get from using from hiring me for my services. We've got 3 services that I offer. Again, I use this bordered wireframey look that I was talking about in the mood board that I showed you. I wanted to show my past projects, so this was a great way to do that very simply. One thing I do want to mention here was these like step-ups, these steps up dividers, whatever you want to call them. I saw on Ahrefs originally, like a while back, that they had this on their website, and then I also saw at the time I was designing this, Peyton Clark Smith of Pate Digital, he also used something very similar to this. So I really liked it, and I decided to use it because I knew I needed a divider for some of my smaller sections down on the website, which you'll see as we go through this. But I think it looks really, really good, and it gives kind of like that pixelated look, or like the digital look of the website. So here's some testimonials that I'm showing of past customers. These were those smaller sections that I was talking about. I kind of wanted dividers, and I didn't want it to just be like these flat edges. I wanted it to be a little bit more dynamic. So I think those pixelated borders, those steps, look really nicely. We'll just keep going through. The homepage is actually very, very long, which you'll see on the finished website. But basically, that's what we were working with. And I think it turned out really well. So I was excited to go ahead and develop this in Webflow. So quickly here, what I want to do is I want to talk about content. I know you guys probably don't want to talk about content because you're probably designers and developers, but I have to talk about it. It might be weird for me to say this as a designer and a developer, but content is the most important part of the website. I say this all the time. Content is so important. So I'm going to tell you how I wrote the content. Everything I know, a lot of what I know is from Jim Edwards. He is a phenomenal sales, copywriting, and content marketer. He's got lots of books and lots of wizards, but basically everything that I've used is from his book. Sales, copywriting, and content marketing hacks. So basically what I did was I took some exercises from that book and I went through my ideal customer, and I kind of thought in my head, like, okay, what does my ideal customer actually want? It's not just my services that he wants something deeper, something with meaning. So basically this was kind of the process that I went through. I basically wrote down 10 things for each of these ideas. So what are 10 ways my product or service will help my target customer actually make money? And I wrote down 10 ideas, and I forced myself to write down 10 ideas. How can I or my product or service help them save money in the next week, month, or year? So some of the ideas that I wrote down were less low quality leads they have to spend time on. They don't have to pay a developer to make small fixes. And actually that one right there was something I used on my website. So whenever I'm thinking like, okay, what should I write here for the content? I just simply opened up my swipe file here, and I just took something from here, and it made it super easy to write the content. This was my actual target customer. This was my avatar. This was Bill. He is a 50-year-old, law firm owner, and basically whenever I was writing those, I was thinking back, okay, what would Bill want in this area? What would he want when thinking about whatever it is, like physical and mental pain? What physical or mental pain is Bill facing right now in regards to his website or marketing? And then basically I went through problems, questions, roadblocks, and then the results that they want to see. There's so much great stuff here. If you want me to, if anyone's interested in like actually getting this templated so that they can use it on their websites, write a comment below and I'll try to whip something up so everyone can see it. There's again, this takes a lot of time, but it is so important. Okay, now the thing you've probably been waiting for since the beginning, let's look at the finished website. This is it. Okay, so this looks very similar to how the web design looked in Adobe XD. Again, we've got great visual hierarchy, I think. The headline sticks out to you first, then people will probably look over to the graphic, and there's a call to action that's very very bold, and it's very clear what's going to happen when they click this. They're going to book a free strategy call with me. We'll scroll down a little bit. We've got, you know, some very simple animations. I did not think my avatar Bill would want crazy interactions on the website, even though we are using Webflow and you can do some really cool things with it. I wanted to tone it down a little bit. So any interactions we added were very subtle. So we look up here with the logo, it's very subtle and not crazy. So we've got our nice conversion block here. Again, we've got a nice subtle interaction with these overlays in the background. They kind of look like lens filters to me a little bit. We've got some more call to action. Again, very clear what's going to happen when you click it. Here is another interaction, not over the top, just some sticky positioning and a Lottie animation on the right side right here. I think it looks good and it's clean and it doesn't distract you from anything. If anything, it points you to the center of the screen, which is, again, those benefits that I was talking about a little bit earlier. We've got my services here. I ended up going with this wireframe and border look, and I actually stole this this hover interaction from the CIA.gov website. I made it a little bit different and I added some color to it, but when you hover over it, you can see those borders like scale up a little bit. So I like that. We got some arrow sliding to the right. We've got some past projects that I have worked on recently, and people can click onto those websites directly from here. It doesn't take them to a portfolio section on my website. I haven't decided if I want to add like a portfolio section in the CMS of Webflow. I'll decide that later. It's not a big issue right now. For now, people can just go onto these finished websites. We've got some customer testimonials right here. More are going to be added in these coming weeks and months. We've got these headlines and graphics side by side. This was kind of what I wrote up in the mood board, and this was actually the one that I actually had in the mood board, and I just kept it because I liked it. And again, problems, questions, roadblocks, results are all on the side of these headlines. They're not just meaningless text, they're actually meaningful to our target customer, who is Bill, our avatar. We've got a nice 3D graphic here of a panther and this Lottie animation of a cape. And a nice call to action. Again, some subtle interactions in Webflow. These were really fun to do. And a nice big bold call to action. This was very close to the bottom of the website, but once I started developing more and more, I kept designing and adding on more sections. So this is closer to the middle now of the website than it is the bottom, but I'm okay with keeping it here. This is the About section, featured in some articles that they can read, a guarantee that I add, a pricing calculator. This was made with the help of FinSuite, with a little help from other sources as well. But this is not necessarily to tell me what their budget is, what a potential customer's budget is. This is more to act as a filter, so that if they come onto the website and they think that, they can contact me and I can build them a $500 website. Unfortunately, I don't do $500 websites. The cheapest I'll do, as you can see here from the calculator, is closer to $2,000. I don't really do anything under that. So that's kind of what this acts as. This acts as a filter. If they come on here and say, oh, it's going to cost $6,000, they might second guess, or they might think about it twice about contacting me. And it's not that I don't want people to contact me, but I don't want to have that hard. It's much easier if they find out from the website, rather than wasting a bunch of their time and saying, yep, it's going to cost $8,000 for this website, and then they're taken back. This helps ease that blow a little bit. So it acts as a great filter. We've got some frequently asked questions here. With some more simple interactions. Now, one thing I really wanted the website to be was a resource for potential customers. So I added in this website academy. If a client comes to me and they're not really sure if they can trust me to build a website, they can try and actually build the website themselves. So they can go to this course, and I give them actually really good, my honest opinion about how to build a great marketing website. So they can kind of flip through here and they can actually upgrade and improve their website themselves, and it's actually quite painlessly. And I give out basically any secrets that I have. However, I'm confident that I'm not giving away all my secrets at a loss, because if a potential comes onto my website and they go through all 10 of these videos, there still is a reason why they would want to contact me. The reason why is because I have the experience and expertise that they might need. I might also have time that they don't have. I am building websites and looking at websites and studying websites constantly, and that's something that business owners can't do. So basically, this is a resource. Yes, if they want to use it to improve their website, they absolutely can, and I give it to them completely free. They don't even have to fill out their email address. You can just click a video and you can watch all 10 of these in like under an hour. In fact, I think you can watch them like in like a half an hour. And if they still want more, they can always come to me in the future. So I don't think this is going to deter people away from hiring me. In fact, I think this is going to help people want to hire me more. And only time will actually tell what happens, but I really like how this turned out, and it's a great resource for business owners who want to improve their website. So I'm not going to go through every single page on the website here. I'll kind of just scroll through it here to give you an idea what's on the rest of the website. We've got nice overflow here, some nice Webflow interactions. You know, I basically kind of took inspiration from the homepage and kind of just spread it throughout the rest of the website and added some new features here and there. One thing I did want to show was this mega menu on the top. As you see, you scroll down a little bit, this menu pops up and it's got this nice little mega menu, and it's basically got the whole sitemap. So rather than someone having to scroll all the way down to the bottom to see it, they could just scroll down just a little bit, have this mega menu pop up, and get to any page that they want on the rest of the website. This is the SEO page, again, you know, very similar to the web design page. I've got some other pages in the works as well. My blog page, I really like how the blog page turned out. And I know a lot of people probably won't even show up on this page, but I think it looks great. I got this sticky section over here on the right. I want to emphasize my YouTube channel since I'm pushing that more and more. And then the blog post page I think looks great. The reason why I love the blog post page, okay, so many websites have these blog post pages where they have like a ginormous headline and then they have this ginormous image. And by the time you get below the fold, right, so the fold is basically right here. So anything below this area right here, and you scroll down, that's below the fold. So everything above the fold basically is just this big huge headline. It covers like half the page, and then we have like an advertisement right underneath it, and then we have the featured image, and the featured image goes down to like right here, and you don't get any of this other content above the fold. So what I love doing is, yes, the featured image is smaller, and a lot of people probably don't like that. However, I don't think the featured image is that important. So I just said, like, okay, let's make it really small. Let's have the text actually wrap around this image here. So if this text got any bigger, it would basically just wrap right around the image. And look at all this information you have right when entering the website. We have the headline, we have the author, we have the publish date, we have the featured image. Okay, we've got our opening headline, we've got 3 different super small paragraphs, so 3 sentences basically, and also we've got 10 different bullet points we can click into in the table of contents. 10 out of the 15. This is so much information right when they get on the website, and it's not overpowering. Like I think it's got great visual hierarchy. So I love this new blog post layout, and it looks just as good on the homepage or on the mobile version. Again, we've got all this information that you can see right away. So I think it looks great, and I think it's going to perform really, really well. That is the website. You can go check out the website if you want to go see just everything on the website. Click through it, see how it looks. Okay, I hope you enjoyed going through the process of how I rebranded my web design company. Let me know what you think of it. Do you like this type of video? We'll see you in the next one. There's gonna be more to come. We'll see ya.